which is a level 1 award and certificate in science. And I'm glad that you could join us this afternoon. Just a few housekeeping things before we get started. I'm joined today with my colleague Becky. Good afternoon. And Becky's going to be helping out with anything that comes through on the chat facility. But if I could just ask you if you could pose any questions at the end of the presentation, that will be great, and then we can handle those and hopefully give them enough time and answer as we go. This is being recorded for our website, so if you're watching this on the website or through another medium, welcome as well, and hope you'll enjoy it. We are very excited to introduce our new qualification, which is, I'd say, the Level 1 Award in Science. Now, this is available as we speak. You can view the qualification guide on our website, and it is ready to register your learners against. So we are ready to go. Now, we've offered this in the Level 1 award and certificate, and the main purpose of the qualification was really to help the learners prepare for GCSE science. We were approached initially by one of our school customers, and they were very keen that learners had some hands-on experience of science subjects rather than too theoretical. So we were looking at the preparation for the new GCSEs, which tend to be a little bit more theoretical. So we kept that lovely investigatory hands-on experience into science, which is what our schools really longed for. So we're hoping with this qualification to prepare learners for GCSE science, but also as well to confirm skills at Level 1. And perhaps if learners are on an alternative programme, this is a great way of confirming their skills. And we're also looking at transferable skills as well. So can learners conduct scientific investigations? And also as well, we're looking at the scientific theories and concepts around the 3 key science areas of biology, chemistry, and physics. So we've placed this and this in our pathway to employment for science as well. And you can see here the Level 1 award and certificate is sitting alongside other qualifications that we run, such as our Skills for Further Learning and Employment, where you can pull in units from care and science as well. But it's also, we could think about maybe if learners didn't want to stay in an academic kind of setting, perhaps they want to look at branching out into a healthcare apprenticeship. And this is a great way as well of preparing for that healthcare apprenticeship. And you can see there that learners could go on to do our certificate and in Skills of Further Learning and Employment. We've also got a care certificate as well. And again, to help them progress through onto apprenticeships. So choosing and still keeping that option of having an academic route as well. So here we go, the most important thing is how to put the qualification together. So we're still working on credits, although we are moving everything over to the regulated qualification framework, that's the RQF. And again, this is the award at Level 1 is 8 credits in total. Within the qualification guide, you'll also see the guided learning hours and the TQT, the total qualification time. So all learners must take the mandatory unit. We'll have a look at that in a moment or two. And then they must gain at the award the 6 credits from at least 2 of the pathways of biology, science, biology, physics and chemistry. Moving up to a certificate, we're talking about 18 credits. So it's a nice chunkier qualification. And again, the 2 credits are mandatory, looking at science investigations, and then moving on, the learners must achieve a minimum of 1 credit from each of the pathways. So they've got a science-based qualification. It's not just a biology qualification or a physics, chemistry. It's a rounded science qualification. So let's have a look first of all and unpack this mandatory unit in a little bit more detail. As I said at the top of the webinar, we're really looking at practical science skills, these investigatory skills. So it's a bit tiny on here, and in the call guide you can see and access the unit in its full version. For those who are partially sighted like myself sometimes, I can't see things properly. But on here what we're looking at is at the beginning of the investigation, looking at what the hypothesis is, and then working through an outline of the method of the investigation. And then we're also keen to look at working safely, as well as then carrying out the investigation and then reviewing. So there are all those lovely methodologies that we utilise when we're setting up science experiments. And so the pathways cover our buggies for biology, our chemistry and physics. And within the biology range of units that you can choose from, we have both plant biology and human biology. So I'll just run through some of those titles whilst we're on the webinar. So you've got ecosystems and the environment, healthy lifestyles, human systems for survival, plants, human reproductive systems, and the human body. So hopefully within there there'll be a nice mixture of both, as we said, plant and human biology to select from. All of the units are coming about 3 credits, but the couple, the last 2, human reproductive systems and the human body, at 2 credits. Moving on to chemistry, within that particular sector, we're looking at acids and alkalis, I should say, and pH, chemical reactions, elements and compounds, fuel and pollution. And finally, in our B3 physics group, we've got principles of renewable energy, using magnets and electricity, energy use, exploring our universe, forces in action, light and sound, radiation, wiring electrical circuits and components. So within each of those groups, there should be a really good selection of units for your learners to make the subject applicable to the next stage of their progression, or perhaps where they are at the moment if they're going to move out and into an apprenticeship framework. And moving on. So running the qualification. Well, first of all, obviously you need to be an open awards centre to run all of our qualifications. And if you're watching this on the internet and you are interested in becoming an open awards centre, please see the last slide. We'll have some details there for you. Then we need to check that your tutors have the right competency and your IVs as well. Remember, learners are going to build up a lovely portfolio of evidence. We want to see these skills and knowledge put into an evidence-based portfolio. So are your tutors working at the right level? So this must be really at the next level up or competent in that area. And from a practical point of view, if you are an open awards centre, don't forget to fill in a new qualification notification form, and then you'll be able to register your learners accordingly. And those who are assessing the qualification, don't forget as well, if you are an open awards centre, that every year you should be able to access free training with us. And we do some really good days for those who are tutors to do the delivery and assessment day with us, and also as well for those who are doing the internal quality assurance. We have a quality assurance day as well. So again, look on the website and check with us at the Open Awards office if you're entitled to those. You may have used them up already this year, but every year we do give you some training. So if you are concerned, what should I be teaching, which most people are, how should I be teaching it, then that's the place to go and come to us, or you can do this online as well, and just have a look through. And remember, we're trying to make this engaging for our learners as well. So think of things like observations, questioning, practical activities, photographs, personal statements. Could what you're doing be made into a project that pulls in all of the different elements? Group discussions, and we can also recognise prior learning as well. Always trying to make everything engaging for our learners. That is our key function. And just while we're here, we need to make sure then that all assessments really are valid. So what we're looking at from your learners is that it should be clearly demonstrating the knowledge or skills that are set out in the assessment criteria. So it should be clear the learner's work, what the learner's work is and what it relates to. It needs to be reliable, which means in general, it has to be the learner's work, okay, and it has to be used in similar circumstances with similar learners. So it must be reliable on that score, and as well, we are very keen that it's inclusive. Remember that with Open Awards, we are an inclusive awarding organisation, so do look for different ways of assessing learners, and remember that we also have an access to fair assessment statements and policy, so do come back to us and check if you need some advice and guidance regarding that side of things as well. As I said before at the beginning of the presentation, all the information that we've discussed today, including a full listing of units and links to the content, are now available on our website. And you can access those by going to our main website, www.openawards.org.uk, and accessing through our products. Or you can do a qualification search on science. So if you are interested or would like any more information, do call our main office on 0151 494 2072. And there is our website address. I'll leave that up as we conclude our webinar this afternoon. And I'm just going to ask those who are attending if you have any questions that you'd like to ask us. And just see if it all goes quiet. We've got a couple of questions coming in, I think. As we were saying before, this is available, so don't forget that if you are thinking about doing a shorter science course, you could probably deliver the award before the end of the academic year. Oh, our first question. Thanks, Ben. Please could you reconfirm the minimum requirements for tutor and IB competence? Thank you very much for that. Our minimum requirements are always within our centre handbook, and if you look into that, you'll see that they're always listed there. But we're looking for chiefly tutors who have qualifications or experience at least one level above the level they're delivering, and the same with IBs as well, that they've either got the qualifications and or experience of working in that area. Thank you very much for the question. And are there any external set assessments, or can we use our own? Thank you, Nina, for that question. As we were discussing before, this is very much about each of the centres, so we don't restrict anything by saying here's what you must do. So it's entirely up to you. And as we ran through before, you've got a lot of different assessment methods that you could tap into so that you can actually deliver that in a really informative and interactive way with your learners. Ben's asking, do we need a science lab to deliver the qualification? Not at all, Ben. If you or any of our customers have got the prerequisites regarding access to resources, they don't necessarily have to be a set laboratory. They could be done in a classroom. They could be done outside. Wherever it's really good to engage your learners and make that subject really relevant and real for your learners. And don't forget, you know, could you record some of the experiments as well? Think about digital and new ways of recording evidence for your learners, and also getting their feedback on that too. How much does it cost per learner? Well, it will be on our website, okay? We would ask you to just check because our level 1 awards and qualification and certificates are listed on there. And they're going to be staying the same again for next year. Becky's just reminding me. So do check our website for those as well. And it's if you look under centres and pricing information, you'll find both this year's if you want to run that, or you can do you can look into next year's, but it'll stay the same, which is £27 for the award and £40 for the certificate. So we'll just wait to see if there's any more questions. None from me, thank you. Thank you very much, Nina. Finally, just a reminder that this qualification is available now. So go ahead. And as I say, if you feel that you've got some time left towards the end of the academic year, you might be able to run an award in that to help your learners. Great, so I don't think there's any more questions coming through. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Julie Goodwin and I'm with
Becky O'Hare.
And both from Open Awards, and enjoy your new science qualification.